Picture this. You're a Neanderthal shivering in a pitch-black cave 50,000 years ago. Suddenly, you bolt upright, drenched in a cold sweat. You just felt yourself falling off a cliff, or genuinely worse. You were just talking to your uncle. The same uncle who was eaten by a cave lion last month. You don't have Google to decode this. You don't know what a subconscious is. So, what the hell just happened? Let's untangle this. The honest answer to how our ancestors processed nightmares is exactly why demons, religion, and the human soul actually exist today. I know exactly what you're typing in the comments right now. Come on, these guys were sprinting from predators all day. When they finally hit the dirt, they just passed out cold. No time for weird dreams. Fair enough, that's the instinctive answer. But here's the reality. The human brain is an absurdly expensive organ. It burns 20% of your daily energy, and it never, ever clocks out. It's working overtime, even when you're unconscious. Let's untangle the real difference here. When you have a nightmare today, you wake up, flip on your bedside lamp, grab a glass of water, and immediately realize it wasn't real. But imagine waking up 300,000 years ago. No lights, no soothing white noise machine, just suffocating pitch-black darkness and the distant howl of a hungry predator. In that terrifying environment, a dream wasn't just some harmless hallucination. To our ancestors, that nightmare was genuinely a second reality. So, lean in close for a second, because here is the twist that genuinely changes the entire course of human history. Imagine you're asleep, and suddenly, you're having a vivid conversation with an elder from your tribe. Think about that famous ancient hominid skull found in Dmanisi. The guy who lost all his teeth but lived for years because his group actually cared for him and processed his food. It's the exact same deep-rooted empathy that eventually fueled the grandmother hypothesis, where older generations survived past their physical prime just to pass down life-saving wisdom. You loved this elder, but you also know, for an absolute fact, that he is dead. You buried his body in the dirt yourself. But right now, in your dream, he's standing right in front of you. He's giving you advice. He is undeniably alive. Today, you just wake up, rub your eyes, and say, "Wow, my brain is really processing some heavy grief." But an ancient human didn't know that memories are just electrical signals stored in the cerebral cortex. They relied strictly on what they could experience. Let's untangle that prehistoric logic. If the old man's physical body is rotting out there in the freezing mud, but he is standing right here talking to me in this second reality, what is the honest answer to how that's even possible? There is only one logical conclusion. A human being must be made of two completely separate things. There is the physical body that dies, and then there is something else, a shadow, an essence, a spark that gets up and walks around when the physical shell shuts down. Boom, right there, in the terrifying darkness of the ancient world, the concept of the human soul was born. It didn't start with brilliant philosophers in fancy robes. It started with a grieving, exhausted hunter just trying to make sense of a ghost inside their own head. Have you ever jolted awake because you felt like you were falling from the sky? Or worse, woken up completely paralyzed, feeling a massive, heavy shadow pressing down on your chest? Today, a doctor will politely tell you it's just a hypnic jerk or sleep paralysis. A minor glitch where your brain wakes up before your muscles do. But let's untangle this from the perspective of an early human. You don't have a medical dictionary. You don't know what neurotransmitters are. So, what is the honest answer to what is sitting on your chest in a pitch-black cave? It's a monster. It's a night terror. It is a literal demon trying to steal that exact soul you just realized you have. And what about those exhausting nightmares, where you're running in slow motion from an unseen predator? That is not just a bad night's sleep. That is your ancient, hyper-vigilant DNA running a nighttime survival simulation. Genuinely, your brain is just practicing how not to get eaten. Just like human biology evolved an obsessive instinct to hoard fat for physical survival, your ancient brain evolved to hoard terrifying scenarios. It's forcing you to rehearse the worst-case scenario in a dream, so you don't freeze up when a real threat crashes the campfire. So, if this dream world is a genuine second reality, who exactly is in charge of it? In the waking world, the strongest hunter leads. But in the dark, let's untangle this. Some individuals in the tribe naturally dreamt more vividly than the rest. Others figured out how to actively hack the system. They fasted for days, Or maybe they chewed on some questionable, mildly toxic roots that triggered mind-bending hallucinations. Suddenly, they weren't just sleeping, they were traveling. They became the very first shamans. The honest answer to how human religion started isn't some grand, organized revelation. It was likely an exhausted Neanderthal, or an early modern human, sitting by the flickering fire, telling a terrified tribe that the ancestor spirits had spoken directly to them in the night. Practically overnight, dreams stopped being a weird personal glitch. They became a tool for leadership. The shaman didn't just have a nightmare, they brought back a prophecy. This was humanity's first massive evolutionary software update. Before this, tribes were held together purely by bloodlines and practical survival, like the grandmother hypothesis keeping elders alive just to help forage and babysit. But now, entire populations could unite under one shared, invisible belief. Genuinely, dreams were the spark that eventually built every temple on Earth. Fast forward to today. What do we actually do with our dreams now? We wake up, mumble something to our partner about a weird talking dog, and completely forget the whole thing by the time we're brushing our teeth. Or worse, we try to use them to pick winning lottery numbers. Let's untangle this ridiculous downgrade. Genuinely, think about how absurd this evolutionary shift is. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, those exact same flickering, random images bouncing around a hominid's skull gave birth to the very first gods. They laid the psychological foundation that eventually united empires and built the pyramids. The honest answer is that your modern, doom-scrolling brain is still booting up the exact same ancient hallucination software every single night. It's the exact same terrifying, awe-inspiring biological machinery that shaped all of human history. We just stopped building temples for the glitches. So, the next time you wake up at 3 a.m., heart pounding, sweating through your sheets because you were being chased by some faceless monster in a nightmare, don't just be annoyed. Let's untangle what's actually happening. The honest answer is that you aren't just having a bad night of sleep. You are actively experiencing the single oldest survival legacy of our entire species. Genuinely, in that brief, disorienting second before you flip on the lamp and remember where you are seeing the universe exactly as they did. You are looking into the shadows through the terrified, wonder-struck eyes of an ancient human 50,000 years ago. Your brain is just running its oldest diagnostic test, making sure you're still ready to survive the dark. It's a terrifying, but weirdly beautiful inheritance. If this video made you look at your own mind a little differently, hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot more ancient mysteries to survive together.